Welcome inside the Memorial Union here at URI as the Good 5 Cent Cigar continues to bring you coverage of the 2024 election. Still very early on, less than an hour into a lot of polls closing across the country. It's 8:39 p.m. right now. Rhode Island's polls closed at 8, and we have a number of new states that have continued to close. Donald Trump currently with an 101-71 lead on Kamala Harris in the electorate, but again, we're still very early on in the election. Most recently, the states of New Jersey and Delaware have closed in favor of Kamala Harris. And for Trump, Arkansas becomes the most recent state to go in his favor. But interesting updates coming out of Georgia. 52%, so just over half their votes have come in, with it going to Trump. If it goes in this direction, Georgia will flip red. Again, as I said, New Jersey went to Harris and Arkansas went to Trump, according to AP News. Interestingly, looking at the last two elections, Donald Trump won Georgia by just 5 percentage points in 2016. That flipped to Joe Biden in 2020, but that was by less than 12,000 votes. So the race this year, according to NBC, is a statistical tie. So that is what we're looking at right now in the state of Georgia.
And to bring us to a different battleground state, polls in Pennsylvania have officially closed. However, there are many polling places that are still open due to technical issues, according to NBC. To bring this closer to Rhode Island, however, AP has released the first round of results for the bond questions that have been voted on, with 6% of votes being reported. So far, the question one for the Constitutional Convention has been rejected by 66.2%. The Rhode Island question 2 to authorize bond for higher education has been approved by 53.7%. The question 3 bond to authorize funds for housing has been approved by 62.5%. The question 4 for authorizing bonds for environmental and recreational purposes has been approved by 63%. And the final question 5 to authorize bonds for cultural arts has also been approved for 52%. So that means that all the bond questions involving money coming out of taxpayers' pockets has been approved for the 6% that have been reported so far, and the first Constitutional Convention has been rejected. And we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Cigars election coverage. Important updates. We're getting reporters on campus, but first an update in the national polls. The state of Illinois, as we reported, or as we just got on and started reporting, goes to Kamala Harris. So another state turns blue.
And that being said, we're going to kick it off to Ellen Galoob with the College Republicans here on campus at URI.
We're going to go to Abby instead.
We're going to Abby, not Ellen.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm one of our reporters in the field. I'm here at Chafee with the College Republicans Club. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Jack Duggan. I'm the president of the College Republicans chapter here. I'm a senior entrepreneurship major, and I'm happy to be here.
So, do you mind telling me a little bit about what you guys are doing inside the Chafee Lecture Hall tonight?
Yes, so inside the lecture hall today, we have a watch party where we have Fox up. And we're kind of also, we're switching CNN to here and there, make sure we get multiple perspectives, but mostly Fox. And we're just following the electoral votes as they come in, and also the Senate races, the House races, all that stuff.
So why was it important to you as the president to hold a watch party on election night?
We wanted to do it to get everybody around, to get everybody together, make sure everybody has a chance to look at everything as well. You know, there's someone inside right now who actually is a new member who actually couldn't get his TV to work, and he was like, oh, I really want to see everything, but I couldn't get it to work, so he showed up here, which is awesome for him. And it's also a good event to get new people to come in here. Again, we have 5 or 6 people in here that have never been to our meetings before, so it's good to have everybody here.
And how do you feel like it's going tonight? I know it's pretty early, but
Yeah, I've been here for an hour. It's going well. It's going really well. It's fun.
yeah.
Mhm.
How late do you guys, are you gonna stay till like midnight? Like how late are you planning?
No, we're gonna see it for another hour. I think Shapey closes at 10, so.
Okay, awesome. And then we also have another member from the club. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, I'm Joe Charette. I graduated in May of 2024 from URI with a journalism degree in communications, and I was the vice president of the Republican Club a few years ago. I'm currently a grad student at URI in comm studies.
Awesome. And how do you feel like the night is going?
Yeah, a little nervous. I'm confident more than I'm not, but I'd say it's like 55, 45, 50, 50. It's very close, but I'm excited. It's fun. I haven't been to like many club meetings like last year. Like I said, I was the vice president a few years ago, but I'm still here even though I graduated because it's just a good time. I knew the President Jack for like 3 years now, and even though I'm not really technically undergrad anymore, it was still fun when I was here. So I'm more than happy to come down to watch the election.
Yeah, you said you're nervous. What are you nervous about?
Well, obviously it was pretty much 50-50 coming in. We've been watching this for a couple years now. I've been in the club, like I said, since 2020, and we've been watching this election for 4 years. And it's just, the fact that it's here, it's very, it's just crazy. And as a result of coming in and showing, it's going to be a nail biter. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're going to go back to Lauren in the studio, but we'll have more coverage throughout the night.
Thank you, Abby.
That was a look at college Republicans and their thought meeting tonight on campus to watch the election. No states have closed yet since we last reported. The state of Maine starting to count their votes now, but that's still very fresh. Donald Trump, an 101-71 lead on Kamala Harris so far. We'll continue to bring you updates as they come to us. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to the Cigars coverage of the 2024 election. Since we have left, 15 more states have closed their voting polling stations for the night. However, until we get to that, we're going to kick it off to Maya with the College Republicans.
Hi, I'm Maya, live from Chafee Hall, here with College Republicans. Can you introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm James Gallarelli. I'm a Marine Affairs major and a senior at the University of Rhode Island, and I'm the secretary of the Republicans Club.
So what is it that you do as in your job as a secretary of the Republicans Club?
I mainly handle most of the social media stuff, Instagram, Twitter, like basically the advertising for all the different meetings we have.
And how would you say tonight is going so far?
I'm cautiously optimistic. Pennsylvania looks a little tight, but it's very it's very early still. Not a lot of votes in yet. Virginia's looking surprisingly close. Florida's good. Georgia's good for now. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't want to jinx anything though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And do you want to introduce yourself as a member of the club?
Yeah, my name's Michael. I'm a sophomore. I'm majoring in electrical engineering, and I've been a loyal member of the College Republicans since I came here as a freshman.
And how has your experience with the club been in general and particularly tonight?
Oh, they're great people. They're lovely people. I would say tonight there's very good energy tonight. We're all very optimistic, cautiously optimistic, like James said, about the result. But as we have a lot of other people here, not just from the Republican Club, but from all over. We have people from Bridge. We have people. Yeah, we have a lot of people. And like I said, there's really good energy tonight. There's food, all sorts of stuff. It's a good party. It's really a party. It's fun.
You said that some people aren't from the club itself. How did they find out about the event?
So there's a club called Bridge, which, who one of the e-board we're good friends with, and he
asked me to do a double event.
Yes, yeah. What the president of Bridge said that he wanted to come over and have some of his people over, so we got a lot more people in because of that, which is great.
Great. Yeah. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Maya.
Welcome back into the studio. So we are going to take a look at more of these important states. The time about 8:58 p.m. So in less than 2 minutes, 15 more states will see their polls close, including the battleground states of Arizona, Michigan, and Wisconsin. So within the hour, a lot of major updates will come in. But as we continue to take a look at Georgia, that race still very close. 64% of Georgia's votes have been reported as counted, with just 52% leaning towards Trump, 47.1% towards Kamala Harris. So that's still, as predicted, a very tight race. Over in Texas, more votes coming in. 55% of those votes have been reported so far, 53.7% to Trump and 45.1% to Harris. So both states right now just slightly leaning towards Donald Trump. As we continue to bring you updates as polls are closing in now under a minute, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
And welcome back. So, since we've been gone, the states of Nebraska, Louisiana, South and North Dakota, and Wyoming have all voted Trump. Meanwhile, New York has been declared as a Harris state. And as we watch Wisconsin, Milwaukee typically does count their absentee ballots a little bit later in the night. So, we do have to wait until we find out the results of that. But this has typically in the past swung the state towards Democrat.
Yeah, so now it's 9:05. 5 minutes have gone since 15 more states have seen their polls close. So we'll continue to get updates. Donald Trump leads 120 to 99 as votes continue to come in and states continue to close. With more from the college Republicans, here's Maya.
Hi, it's Abby. I'm back in Chaffee Hall, and I have Lainey with me. Lainey, would you mind telling me what grade you're in and what your major is?
I'm a sophomore. I'm studying geological oceanography and marine affairs.
And how long have you been a member of the College Republicans?
Since last semester, I joined.
Nice. How have you found the experience so far?
I like it a lot. It's a great way to meet people who have similar views to me and get some insight onto what's going on in the world.
Yeah, and you mentioned previously you're currently the only woman in the club as a full-time member.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's not, I don't see it as a negative thing, but it would be nice to have more female members, I think.
How do you think, the shift in college students, especially with women, are you seeing them become more liberal, more conservative from your viewpoint?
From my viewpoint, I'd probably say more liberal. Just people I've met tend to lean that way.
Yeah, and you also mentioned you're from Jersey.
I am.
Does Jersey typically go blue? Does it typically go red?
Typically blue.
Okay, and did you vote absentee?
I did.
Nice. And how have you found the event tonight so far?
I thought it was pretty fun. It's just a great way to hang out with people, and it was a good time so far.
Have any states flipped one way or the other that you were surprised by?
Let's see. Virginia was definitely, it was blue at first and then switched to red. So it was good to see that. Wasn't surprised though.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lauren, and Nick, back to you in the studio.
Here we go.
Thank you, Abby.
As we continue to get live updates, we're starting to move out west as polls continue to close. Colorado and New Mexico are starting to count their votes. So too early to call for results so far, but more states starting to show up on the map. We'll take a quick break and bring you more updates on the other end. Back inside the cigar office as we continue to bring you updates from what has been or predicted to be a very close election as states continue to close their polls and as new votes continue to come in. A couple of important updates. Ohio and Texas have both been called for Donald Trump. That gives him so far an 178-99 lead over Vice President Kamala Harris. Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa, since we were last reporting, have started counting their votes. We've continued to take a look at Georgia as a very close race. Now we're also looking at Virginia. They've gotten 55% of their votes counted, so more than half of those votes have come in. 49.9% for Trump and 48.4% for Harris. So states continuing to be very, very close in this race, and we will keep an eye on Virginia as well. So now we have our reporter Maya, who was at the College Republicans meeting across campus earlier today, back in the office, and we're going to get a feeling about just how that went. Just to give some context, campus today canceled classes as a result of the election, and there wasn't really too much happening outside of that. The college Democrats not meeting today, very few groups meeting today. The college Republicans, however, were. Maya is here to tell us more about that. Obviously, we heard from the interviews in the room. We got their feelings, but overall, what was the goal of the meeting and what was happening in that room with the college Republicans?
Yeah, so when we walked in, it was them mostly watching Fox, but they said they were switching back and forth between CNN a bit as well to try and get a more balanced viewpoint. It was members of the club as well as like some of the staff, as well as some outside members who they recruited just to come or who had heard about it to come watch that night. But yeah, it was a big group kind of watching on a big live stream with some of the presidents or the president and some of the leaders of the club talking at the front of the stage, as well as interacting with the other members of the crowd.
And overall, if we look at Rhode Island as a state, 77% of the votes here have been counted. It has been called for Kamala Harris, but it is, again, a pretty close race. 44.3% of the votes so far going to Donald Trump. In 2020, that number finished at 38.6%. And the last time Rhode Island was a red state was back in 1984. So has, or in recent history, been a blue state, but it continues to be close this year. What was the feeling in the room among the college Republicans, especially here on campus at URI, and how were they feeling about the election? What did you kind of collect when you were there?
Generally, it was very optimistic. A lot of them were from out of state as well. So some of them said that they had sent in absentee ballots. But they seem to be pretty positive, a bit like unsure about Philadelphia so far. But generally the vibe was pretty positive. And everybody said they're having like a good time and they had food and stuff. And of the people we spoke to, they were all pretty excited to be there with the group.
And the group of college Republicans, again, we heard you guys interviewing multiple, including the only woman in the meeting, which is something that we pointed out that we thought was interesting. Was there anything in those interviews that stuck out to you from what they were saying?
Not too much. It was mainly just like that overall they were feeling pretty good about it. And it was interesting to see that there were non-members of the club there as well. So that was kind of a unique mix. They did say that the college Democrats weren't holding anything tonight, as we know as well, which was interesting. So being the only group on campus. But yeah, besides that, not too much.
All right. Well, that is kind of insight into or a feeling into the college Republicans and what they've been doing tonight at URI as we continue to scope out at the national scale. Donald Trump still leading Kamala Harris, but very early on as the Western states continue to come in. We'll continue to take a look at the election. Donald Trump with an 178-99 lead right now, but we'll take a quick break for now.
welcome back. So I am here with Abby, who was one of the reporters who went to the College Republicans watch party tonight. So we are on a college campus of 15,000 people roughly, and this is one of the larger elections that we've seen in our lifetimes. Campus was very quiet today. I'm not sure if you noticed that. So what was it like to be with a group of people meeting today after seeing how quiet it's been for us today? Yeah, we walked into the room. It was pretty loud, and there were only about 15 students there. But they had the Fox News and CNN pretty loud. They were all chatting, and it was definitely the most lively I think I've seen a group of people today. Just based on on campus, out in South Kingston in general. I think that a lot of the youth feeling right now towards this election is a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness for how the turnout might come out. Did you sense that at all for them, or was it more of like a sense of like pride to be there? I think when we walked in, Florida had just gone red, and I think that made them all really excited. One of the members of this group who kept saying that he was cautiously optimistic and that he didn't want to jinx anything. I think as like the kind of East Coast and especially the South starting to turn, they were getting pretty amped up by that, which is like we just saw Rhode Island turn blue. I think in a more blue state, of anxiety, see like those numbers come in. To the college Democrats, they weren't or the president of the club did say that he knew that Democrats were not meeting as often as they were. They try to have meetings and be active. So he wasn't surprised and didn't have other members say, like, oh, that's really interesting. This hasn't been publicized. Yeah, of course. So, what would you say there's a much national vote between right now? I know the only woman that was there. What was that like for you guys? Did she have to? She initially didn't come up to us like asking to be interviewed. We went to her, but she's a good sport about it. She did say she joined the club last semester, but has been to all meetings and is a very active member. She is the only girl usually, but she seemed very firm in that. She didn't seem uncomfortable. She also said she's from Jersey, which is a typically blue state. She said, yeah. She also did say that from her view, college women tend to be trending more in recent years, so that she was kind of an outlier in that respect. No, thank you very much. As the polls get confirmed as we move more west, we'll be back, but first we're going to take a little break. we have a couple more updates for you guys before we sign off for the night. First of those being the Rhode Island question ballots have been decided on. The first constitutional convention was rejected. Questions 2, 3, and 4 were approved, and we're still waiting on the results of question 5. Looking towards the rest of the country, Arizona has had some issues with their polling places. A judge had ordered that the polling places stay open for an extra 2 hours as they had some technical difficulties in the beginning and a bit of a rocky start.
Final updates from us on the national scale. Right now, Donald Trump holds an 188 to 99 lead, so he is still in charge of this race early on, with about half of the states yet to report their final votes, but those will continue to come in later in the night. But final updates from us here from the cigar office. Missouri most recently went to Trump. That is the big update, and we'll continue to take a look as well at the 3 swing states that we've been monitoring: North Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Starting in Virginia, about 61% of those votes have been calculated so far, just 50.1% towards Donald Trump's very narrow advantage for Trump, 48.2 going the way of Kamala Harris. Heading down now to North Carolina, similar story, 66% of votes counted there. It's a 52% to 47% advantage for Donald Trump. So both of those states leaning marginally toward Trump so far, with a considerable amount of those votes counted. Georgia is the one we're looking at. That is getting closest to the end, with 80% of their votes counted. So we're getting close to the finish there. And as has been the case the entire time we've been reporting on this, just very close, 52.2% towards Trump and 47.2% towards Kamala Harris. So like we said, about half of the states yet to be concluded. But as of right now, it's Donald Trump with the lead over Kamala Harris, 188 to 99. But for now, that'll do it for us from the office for tonight's live election coverage and the Cigar's first ever election coverage. Thank you so much for joining us on all of our social medias, and we will continue to update through our paper and through our newscast that will come out this Thursday. Time right now is about exactly 10 p.m. Eastern time as the polls continue to update. But thank you so much for joining us.